Service learning is very Deweyan, and which means that relevance and real world applications are the most important part. There is a divide. You know, much of what we do in education is the result of research in psychology. The people who in the 1970s built the special ed system and were advocates and so forth, they were advocates for people with disabilities who were attorneys. That was a very important part. You probably heard the term character is destiny. I heard a great phrase the other day. It said, watch your thoughts, they become actions. Watch your actions, they become habits. Watch your habits, they become character. And your character becomes your destiny. And that's an old phrase, actually. Character is destiny. And I believe that you know, that. So what happens on the surface of life, what you do, is determined many times by what you feel and what you're thinking inside. And those are cognitive processes. Children that have IEPs have to be given a functional behavioral analysis. So when we take them when we start working on them with behavior management specifically for kids in the ED category, it starts with functional behavioral analysis, FBA. What is prescribed is a functional behavior analysis for the baseline, and then the BPI, behavioral intervention plan, which is, of course, behavioral psychology, an attempt to shape behavior, and you know, it's very quantitative. You're going to find out about the resources in your neighborhood because that'll be something I want you to do. If you want the party to happen, you've got to make it yourself. You know, you're going to have to arrange this yourself. And if you make it a monthly thing, and your special ed director is on board, and you know, anybody else in the district. I mean, mine was just for my school. Marginalized in terms of education group of any of them. They're the least represented in higher education. So I would just want to recommend a book to you if you're interested in following this line of thought. There's a gentleman named Vine Deloria, and I think he recently passed away, but he was a professor at Northern Colorado University in Greeley for many years, and he wrote a wonderful book about Native Americans in the education system called Power and Place. So I'm back. It just occurred to me that I used the term morphology. I was talking about Western civilization, our science, our form of what we call modern science. I use the term morphology. We classify things according to morphology. Does anyone know what that means? I use Latin terms so I want to make sure everyone knows what I mean by that. Anyone?
So I reviewed SpeakQ plus WordQ, and I'm not sure if you say and or plus, but it's a plus sign.
Okay, the program I picked was called Draft Builder, and
Oh, I just want to say thank you, Jill. I'm sorry. I do want to thank everyone. Thank you for that. Okay, Draft Builder, Kate.
Yeah, the program I found was Math Talk, and the kid that I've been working with is in kindergarten, but I'm thinking that this one would work because it does everything, just arithmetic to pre-algebra, algebra, trig, calculus, statistics, graphing. I mean, basically, pretty much anything you can do in math.
Dragon Dictate, he had some issues with getting what was in his head down onto paper. And Dragon Dictate is just a commercial product that's available for everybody out there. It's not anything special, but it really seemed to meet the needs of this particular student.
I just want to take a side trip before I start. As I was looking through things, I started off with reading, and I had a blind student one year, and I found this one free, which a lot of teachers will say that's the best kind to have. It's called Bookshare, and it's for people with reading disabilities. And but you only can get into it if you have a known, and you have an IEP with reading disabilities for being blind or autistic or whatever. But it's books that are accessible to you anywhere, free, and they read it to you. You can listen to the books on, being read. It highlights it to you, and it creates physical braille or large print, and it's read directly from an internet browser. And it's free, providing you have the disability. That somebody can say yes, they do have the disability and they qualify, and so they're able to get into that. I really like that.
So tell us how to access that then, Sally. You go to the internet and...
Yes, and I logged on and I found it's called Bookshare, one word.
Okay.
And it opens up the world of reading for people with print disabilities. But it did say that not everybody can get on it. So if you have a hearing loss, autism, attention deficit, or emotionally or intellectually disabilities, or your first language is not English, do not generally qualify based on those criteria unless they have a qualifying physician, physical, or learning disability. So pretty much an IEP that says, yes, they do have those disabilities. And then you do qualify. Kurzweil, it's Kurzweil, 3000 Firefly. It's very expensive, more expensive, but what I liked about it is the student could access it at home. It updates it, so if there's a new program, it will automatically update it. I like that they have a dictionary that goes along with it, so if the student doesn't know the meaning of a word or doesn't know what the word is, they can access the dictionary and they'll get that meaning. They have includes over 1,800 classic literature texts, so as you go through school, you're going to be reading some of those. And the reading will slow it down to what you need to do, highlight it as it's being read to you. And again, if you have words that you don't know, you can look them up. It's supported through tablets on the web, and again, if you have that kind of at home, you can use it at home as well. It has a talking spell checker. It speaks and typing, vocabulary, graphic organizer, brainstorming tools. When I read this, I thought, oh, how exciting. The bad side to it is for 3rd grade and above, so you're kind of getting those years that they start doing the testing, and the cost is $1,300.